Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Susquehanna Soccer Coaches Show, where I'm your host, Anthony Heller, joined today by Susquehanna women's soccer head coach Nick Hoover and senior midfielder Emma Eberle. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Coach Hoover, since the last time I was here, you played 5 games, winning 2, losing 3. How do you feel about the performances in game over the past couple of weeks?
I think it's a lot of games, and the 2 we won, if I'm going back, were Stevenson and Marymount. So 2-1-0 wins, 1 on the road. Both games where I felt like, we played well enough to win. I think in the Marymount game, we had a really rough first half. We played really well in the second half, 1-1-0. And then the Stevenson game, I thought we came out flying. Probably our best start to finish performance as far as like total play and a win that we've had all year. Scored late on a penalty kick, which was great, but definitely a game we thought we could have probably had 3 or 4 goals. Honestly, we played that well. And then the 3 losses were against 3 tough teams. Scranton, 1-0. A game where, I thought they had more chances, but they only scored 1 goal, kind of on a breakdown more than anything from us, but a good goal overall from them. We had a chance to score at the end, hit the post on a corner kick. So a game we were in, which was good. The midweek game against Dickinson was really tough. It's midweek, it's on grass, they were very good at home, and they're just a talented team. And to be honest, we could have been down 2-0 at halftime, but we're 0-0. They come out and scored very early in the second half, and then we scored 2 right away to go 2-1. And I thought we actually played pretty well, more even in the second half, but they scored 4 goals on us in a half. And so 6 total goals scored in that half, so that was kind of wild. And definitely not something we wanted to repeat. We think we're better defensively than that, but they also scored some really nice goals. So, not a ton to take from that, except it was a good game, and we scored a couple goals, which was nice. And then, the most recent loss against Elizabethtown was, I'd say, the toughest one. It's the first game this year where I felt like from start to finish we played as well as I could have asked our team to play, and -2 just moments in the game, and it really just felt like that, like 2 moments in 90 minutes. They scored 2 goals, not even on like breakdowns from us, just kind of a bounce that they attacked a little bit better than us, and unfortunately that's how soccer goes. So I feel good about the way we've played overall. To say that and be 2-3 in that stretch is interesting, but I don't think it has anything to do with how we've been playing as far as our intensity. Maybe we started a little slow at Dickinson. That's my kind of biggest critique in the last 5 games, but everything else I feel like we've come out and played well, and we're going to start seeing results go our way, hopefully coming soon if we keep playing that way. So,
Emma, you've been a defender for almost all of your soccer career. How different is it playing in midfield, and how have the players around you helped you adapt to a previously unfamiliar position?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different. I don't think the positions are not similar at all, but I kind of went into it with the mindset like soccer no matter what position you're at, and I was obviously like stressed about it at first, but I just had to tell myself to like go with my instincts and not think about it too much. And I just want to play, and I'm willing to kind of play anywhere and learn. And also I think being in that position with Gigi, it was also a new position for her, so we were kind of in it together and we helped each other. So I think she played a big part in that switch too.
Yeah, and in 2025 so far, you've already matched your win total from 2024, and you did so after just 9 games. Despite having a very similar roster, how do you feel that extra year of experience that the returning players have has benefited you?
I think it makes a world of difference. Speaking, even though there's younger players on the team, you have a senior sitting here, and it was new for her last year. So having that half a season playing center mid under her belt came in and helped her play, and more confidence and having more sort of just basic knowledge of where to play. And I echo what Emma said, soccer is soccer. You got to figure out how to do your role to the best of your ability. But so much of it comes down to when the ball gets to your foot, can you make a nice first touch and make a nice pass, right? When you have a chance to make a tackle, do you go in with physicality? And I think what our team has learned outside of positionally and just getting more experience and tactically what to do more is, I think they just, most of the players in the team who are younger, over half of our team is first years and second years, is just what the college level is like, what a college 90-minute soccer game feels like physically, what a week in the life of a soccer player feels like. I think that, while being very generic and not, you can't like hammer down on exactly what the experience does. Just having that gives you an idea of what you're going to be dealing with week in and week out. But I think our team has gained in confidence throughout this season, like as much as I think we've gained from last year to this year. And yeah, 5 wins is, we thought we should have more last year, but I do think we feel like we should still have more wins than we have this year. So that also goes in hand with how well we've played in comparison to where we started even this year. So I think we've come a long way in like 8 weeks or whatever it's been. So yeah, experience has been important, and getting on the field and playing with each other and sort of getting to know each other has been important. But I just think like when you play well, it gives you a certain amount of confidence that just bleeds into the next game and the next game. I think we have that, and now it's trying to get those results to match up with that confidence.
And so with landmark play now underway, like you said, you've taken on Scranton and Elizabethtown. How do you feel your opening 2 games in conference play have gone, and what could have been different?
Well, you answer first since you played in both of them.
I mean, kind of going off what Hoover said, I think they were both games that we could have gotten a better result than we did, but at the same time, it also gives myself and all my teammates confidence going forward that we have the capability to win these games. And I mean, of course we wish that the results could have been different, but you can't change the past. I mean, we're just ready to move on to the next.
I think not every loss is the same. I mean, they're all L's versus W's or draws, but I think we can just within this season find a loss that we've had and be like, okay, that was not a game we should have felt particularly good about. You know, we didn't play well, and that's why we lost. And it's not because the other team just was overwhelmingly more talented or whatever. And you could go through, any one of our 7 losses and probably pick out at least one of those where we're like, okay, we didn't show up the way we should have today. And I don't feel like that's been the case for any of these 3 losses that we suffered in a row here, and especially the 2 conference losses. These are 2 really good teams, 2 teams that are coincidentally 2-0 in conference. One being kind of a powerhouse and one who's been finishing the playoffs on the road on E-Town's grass is its own challenge. And if you had told me, okay, this is what's going to happen, you're going to get on the road, and we had some bus trouble getting there, that's a whole other story. So you're going to get on the road, you're going to go play on grass, it's going to be hot, you're going to play against a team that just won their first conference game. You're going to double them up in shots, you're going to have more corners, you're going to have more possession, you're going to hit the crossbar, and you're going to generate more scoring chances in that game. I'd take it. And then whatever happens in that result happens. But if you were to tell me all those things, I wouldn't be shocked. I do think we've been playing well. But I would have said, yep, I'll take that. And it went 2-1. So our team has to see that. And I do think they do. Like Emma just said, like, no one wants to lose those games. And I feel a certain amount of responsibility as the head coach that game should have been at minimum a draw based upon how we played and based upon like how we asserted ourselves from the minute 1. But like she said, the past is the past, and we have everything in front of us to play for. There is a certain amount of confidence that you can draw from moments in that game rather than just the result was this. So we got to do that.
Yeah, and Emma, earlier this season you registered your first career assist. How do you feel you've adapted your on-field identity to be more involved going forward?
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely something to get used to because I had played pretty defensive my career up until now. But I mean, if the opportunity to attack is there, I'll take it. I like to be creative on the ball if I have the opportunity, but I also recognize that my role, obviously, I have to be more defensive sometimes. So it's kind of just taking whatever our opponent gives us. And,
One of the reasons we felt so comfortable, and I'm not sure how comfortable she felt with it, but we as a staff last year felt so comfortable just kind of moving Emma into the midfield where she had never played, was that sort of attitude she just spoke of. And it's kind of one of the reasons she's a special player. Beyond being good on the ball, beyond being fit, beyond being all that stuff, she's very pragmatic. She's very much, even if there are nerves internally, she doesn't wear it out front. She's an incredibly stable presence from us. She's a senior. She's got a lot of experience. But it's funny, like a week ago this time, she came to me and was like, hey, how can I be more attacking minded? How can I be more creative? So it's funny you asked that question. And I think what I said, and it's probably not verbatim, but something to the effect of take what they can give you. There's going to be moments where you're going to get a chance to get forward. And what's funny is we just saw this on Saturday. And it was kind of like we had everyone forward. We were pressing them. They didn't clear particularly well. And had a nice first touch, took a touch, and she had a shot. And, I think the grass made our shooting just way less impactful than it was. But it's bending to the outside post, and it's like those kinds of things are going to turn into goals or turn into scoring chances. Even the assist she had came so much about like where she was in the field and then just sort of bleeding into that space and then taking a touch and sending across. And like the way she's reacted to playing in the midfield and reacting to the way certain teams play us tactically, because a lot of teams we've played have really swallowed up the middle. So our two midfielders, to our traditional, Gigi and her have started most of the games there, but those two players have really found themselves not able to contribute, but when they have, I think both of them have done a great job getting forward and getting into the attack.
And with Wilkes being the next game on the schedule, how are you preparing to take them on with the last couple of games and with practices in mind?
I mean, I talked to the team about this Saturday. This is kind of the grind. We played Saturday, we gave them an off day yesterday, we practiced today and play tomorrow. This is sort of what our next month is going to look like. Saturday game, Tuesday game, Saturday game, Tuesday game until the final game of the regular season. So there is something to be said about all the experience we've built up. It doesn't equate what an extra day of practice might be or an extra day of rest might be, but hopefully when we get into training today, the day before the game, we're going to be sort of knowing what we're going to do. We've watched a lot of film on them already. We kind of have an idea of what they're going to do, but just like every other conference opponent, they present a unique challenge that they've been scouting us all year too. And this is how conference play always goes. There's very rarely within conference play like a blowout. It doesn't matter who's playing who. Like you'll see maybe one team will win 4 or 5-0 on a weekend, but everyone else it's like ties, 2-1, 3-1 at best. And I think it's because we're all sort of in it. I trust our team. I trust our leadership to have the right mindset at practice today and have the right mindset tomorrow. We're at home. That's a big place to be midweek. After a tough game on the road is at home, that next game. And we got to figure out a way to really take advantage of that tomorrow night. So, should be able to do that.
So how do you feel you've improved over the course of this season, both with the team as a whole and individually, Emma, for you?
Yeah, so individually, even though I started in this position last year, I've definitely grown more comfortable being there and gained more confidence. And as far as the team as a whole, I think we're more tight-knit than ever. And compared to a lot of my teams in the past that, there was always some level of drama or jealousy within those teams that just doesn't exist here. And from the freshmen all the way up to the fifth years, we just want what's best for everybody and really wish for each other to succeed. So I think that's something that's very special within our group and will continue to grow for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I echo everything she said. Starting with Emma, I just think she is sort of the embodiment of what we've asked from our team. Someone maybe step outside of what your comfort zone is, be it within your own individual position or within the tactical shape changes that we've done. Some people have been asked to play completely differently than they've ever been asked to play. And then, to do that and to embrace it and then see that throughout your entire team, I think it just speaks to what she's saying. There's an interest in our success, and I think that's the mindset everyone has. Very little about my success, a lot more about our success. And you see it in the way we train, you see it in the way they support each other, you see it in the way that maybe some players who don't get on the field, they have some of the best attitudes in our team, and I think that's unique and it's really special. As far as on the field, I just think we've embraced some depth in people in their roles. And some people will not have their name called on Wednesday and then have their name called Saturday, and they just got to be ready to go. And I think for the most part, we've performed well in those moments. But I can't stress enough, I think this team has a lot of interesting puzzle pieces that all seem to fit together. I think our coaching staff is very unique and balances each other out personality-wise. I think our players are unique and cancel each other out personality-wise. And I think all of that comes with a certain level of character, but everyone's sort of somehow true to themselves by being great teammates to each other. And I think that's an incredibly important balance, and I think the team does a great job of that.
And so in the past, your 2 landmark meetings with Wilkes in the past 2 years have ended in goalless draws. What's the key to breaking that trend?
Attack them relentlessly. It's a home game. We know we left some points on the table these first 2 conference games, so we got to get after it. We got to put everything into trying to get a win tomorrow night. We're not going to go crazy. We're not going to play outside of ourselves, but there is a front foot mentality that I think our team's been doing pretty well. We started that way on Saturday, and that can't change just because it's a little more nerve-wracking in the 3rd game in, and we're worried about what could go wrong. If we have any sort of that mentality, then I'm not doing my job as a coach getting them ready. We need to stay aggressive. We need to stay confident, and we need to go out and generate chances. If we generate enough chances, we'll see goals, but we got to generate chances. And it's not going to be easy. They're a very well-coached team. They're disciplined, but as you said, both times we played them the last 2 years have been 0-0 draws. I don't think that's an accident. We got to make sure we change that for the positive. We got to score some goals tomorrow.
And then after Wilkes on Tuesday, there's away trips to Drew and to Juniata. What's key to coming away with 6 points from that 2-game road trip?
We're Jersey, girl. What's the trip to Drew going to be like?
I mean, yeah, that one's always a tough one just because of the distance, but I feel like we kind of have like a bit of a rivalry with Drew over the years, and they're always very close, high-intensity games, so hopefully we get a win tomorrow, and then that just kind of carries into Saturday, and yeah, just got to take it to them.
And then we'll do the same thing for Juniata, right? Like we're going to come off of a away game, and we're going to come home. And it's fall break, so our players will have Sunday and Saturday, the rest of Saturday and Sunday to themselves, go see their families, and then Monday we're going to have to practice, and Tuesday we're going to have to go to Juniata and play another tough team that's kind of a rival because of the distance from us, and got to figure out a way to get a result there. So yeah, we're in it.
And to wrap things up, what do you think has been the most impactful moment of the season thus far, in both between on and off the pitch?
I think maybe coming off of the Marymount win with Gigi's PK at the end.
Stevenson.
Oh, Stevenson.
Yeah.
Also Marymount too, though.
Yeah.
Both games we got that late goal at the end, because I think the past couple seasons those have been games that haven't gone our way or been in our favor. So I think that gave our team a lot of confidence that this season's different, and if we put the work in, that we can get those results. And I think we also have that mentality. So let's do that.
I think even though Saturday didn't go our way, the way we came out to start the second half, down a goal that we thought we shouldn't have conceded. We felt at minimum we should have been tied, if not winning at halftime. The hardest thing to tell a team, I realize, is not we haven't played well, so we can do this and play better. It's you've been playing great and it hasn't gone your way, so continue to do this and it will come. And to watch them go out and do that in the second half, score a goal basically right away, and really dominate that half. And again, didn't go our way, so I'm not saying that's the most important thing, but watching our team have that mentality and trust in what we've done and trust each other, I hope that continues, because it was a seminal moment for me as a coach. It's one of the hardest things I've ever had to say is like, you're playing great, it's not going our way, keep doing it, and them keep doing it. That's not common, and I was really proud of them despite the loss.
And that's everything I've got for you guys today. So fans, thanks for joining us again on the Susquehanna Soccer Coaches Show, where today we welcomed women's soccer head coach Nick Hoover and midfielder Emma Eberle. And for more, make sure to tune in on social media at GoSusQ and online at suriverhawks.com. See you soon.